A woman steps out of the shower, winks at her boyfriend, and says, "Honey, I shaved myself down there. Do you know what that means?" The boyfriend looks at her and says, "Yeah, it means the fucking drain is clogged again." What up, YouTube? Let's here. Thanks again for visiting the channel. As always, I appreciate it. If this is your first time to the channel, please go ahead and hit that thumbs up button just for the algorithm. And if you enjoy the content, please subscribe to the channel. Today, we've got a very exciting unboxing. Thanks to Peter Kottmeyer on Instagram. Do me a favor, go give him a follow. He's been supporting the channel for a little while. He's got some awesome knives, and he is kind enough to send a few my way every once in a while to check out on the channel. So it's Peter Kottmeyer, Peterkottmeier. Please head over to Instagram and give him a follow real quick. Only takes a second. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, cats and kittens. Again, we've got a very exciting unboxing for you today. I believe there's 3 knives in here, a couple that were made by REATE and one that was made by WE. I'm going to be using my new ASK knife to open this box. So let's do it up. Get into this guy real quick. He's got this taped up pretty well, so I don't know if I'm going to be able to get into it the first shot, but we'll see what happens. See if I can do it without injuring myself. Been doing pretty good so far, so we'll see what happens. And try to do this without cutting anything inside the box very, very carefully. Okay, that should do the trick. Hopefully. I think he's got a note in here too, so let's just make sure there's no sensitive information. He's very, very good at packing his boxes, that's for sure. Okay, yep, there's a note in here too, so that's good. We'll get the box out of the way. And let's see what we've got here. Return postage, that's always exciting. Okay. Alright, so... Hi Scott, I got 3 blades for you to check out, blah blah blah. Okay, yeah, so this is all about the knives. I'm just going to open them real quick, and we're going to take a peek at them. I will go over each one as I do the reviews on them in a couple of weeks after I've had some time to carry them. Alright, so the first one, we're just going to put these upside down so that we don't ruin the surprise. We've got a WE pouch. I think I know what's in that one. I know what's in that one. And we've got a REATE pouch. I know what's in that one as well. Well, I actually know what's in all these packages, but I've never held or handled any of these knives. So it's very, very exciting. And this one is also made by REATE. So I'm going to start with this one. We'll keep these to the side for now. Okay. First pouch. First pouch. Alright. Oh, that's a nice cloth. Move this to the side for now. Oh yeah. Oh man, that's awesome. Okay, so this is the LIONG WORRIOR made by REATE. I'm not sure if this is a version 1 or version 2. Open it up. Bazinga. Oh, that's smooth. I like that blade a lot. Okay, so as I said, this is a LIONG knife, the LIONG WORRIOR. I believe this is S35. Nope, I'm sorry. My research lied to me. This is M390, so this might be a newer version than the ones I've looked at on YouTube. So we're looking at a blade with M390. Excuse me, looks like we've got a compound ground here. I'm going to go ahead and call this a drop point. Doesn't really look like a tanto. We've got a flat that carries out to about 90% the length of the blade. We've got a small fuller here, carries out about 50% the length of the blade, and there is a swedge that carries all the way out to the tip. I'm willing to bet that this is running on bearings. Yeah, that's very, very smooth. So definitely running on bearings. I'm not going to guess what the hardware is yet. I'll take a look at that and go over that when we do the review. This is obviously a titanium handled knife, titanium frame lock. We've got some beautiful, beautifully well done carbon fiber inlays here. Titanium backspacer with a spot for a lanyard hole, and a very, very small pocket clip. I'm not mad at it. It's one of the smallest pocket clips I've ever seen in my life. It kind of just looks like a little. It looks like a little knife, a little unsharpened knife there. Looks like minimal hardware. You've got a couple of extra screws here that are keeping these inlays in, and I'm sure there's a couple of screws underneath it, but there's really only 1, 2, 3 major screws here keeping the knife together. A little bit of jimping on the spine of the blade, and that is a good looking blade. I absolutely love this. This is gorgeous. I like the finish on this. Very reflective satin finish and beautiful, beautiful grind lines. Even on the swedge up here, a whole bunch of areas that are I just want to stare at them with the light reflecting off of those grind lines. I absolutely love that. A little bit of jimping up on the spine. Very, very comfortable. That pocket clip does cause a little bit of a hot spot when I'm really gripping on the knife here. But for the most part, it's not too bad. This doesn't really seem like a knife that you would be using for an extremely long period of time, so I doubt that would cause too much trouble. And as I said, very, very smooth. Actuating the flipper tab is very easy. You don't have to worry about getting your finger on that lock bar there, because that is a full bolster lock or subframe lock, however you want to call that. And you can either light switch that flipper, or let's see how it does when you push button it. Yep, that works just fine as well. I don't think you can use this fuller here. Nope, can't get access to that with my finger, but the flipper works just fine. Disengagement is very, very easy. There's no lock stick at all. And as you can see, it is very, very fall shutty. Very smooth action. Falls back into the handle with no problem whatsoever. This is absolutely beautiful. We are perfectly centered. This is not a review. I'm just first impressions and an overview of the how the knife is made. Looks like about a 30% lockup, which is pretty good. Let's take a look at that lock face here. Maybe 25%. Looks like it's further when it's opened. So yeah, that's very, very nice. I like that a lot. I really like this, how they have this pivot collar here milled. Is that a pivot collar, or is it just the screw itself? It kind of looks like it might be a pivot collar. I think that screw is independent from the pivot collar. Yeah, that's what it looks like. We've got a steel lock bar insert here. And like I said, this carbon fiber is done very, very well. Marbled carbon fiber. Don't really see any voids or anything like that. And you can see here, I don't know if it is going to focus properly, but it looks like, you're at kind of an angle there, I'm sorry guys. But yeah, the fit and finish on this is fantastic. There's no gaps in there at all. There's no wonky lines or anything like that. Let me just see if I can fix the camera here. Sorry guys. I don't want this being at too much of an angle. I don't know why that's fallen all of a sudden. Almost there. Okay, we'll leave it at that. I don't want to mess around with it too much. So yeah, let me see if I can get this to focus properly so we can see the fit and finish on that. Yeah, that's absolutely beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. There we go. Yeah, perfect fit there. Yeah, that inlay work is absolutely stunning. Okay, we'll move on and take a look at the next one here. I think we'll look at the WE next. So this one is the WE CHIMERA, which I've heard of. I haven't really seen a whole lot of this knife on YouTube or anything like that, but it's absolutely just a badass looking knife. Oh, it's so cool. That is so cool. Yeah, I'm gonna have to fix this phone, guys. Sorry. This thing is driving me crazy. Okay, let's see how that works. All right, sorry about that. Okay, so the WE CHIMERA. As you can see, this is definitely a unique looking knife. This isn't something that you don't see anything like this every day. This is obviously a titanium folder, a premium offering from WE Knives. This blade, if memory serves from what I saw earlier, I think it should be S35VN. But I don't see the blade steel written on here anywhere at all. Let me see if maybe if I open it a little bit, it might be somewhere here on the lock face. Yeah, no, I don't see the blade steel here. But I will research this one a bit more and find out exactly what that blade steel is. But we are looking at maybe a clip point or possibly a Persian blade. With a very big groove here cut out for your thumb. A little bit of belly on the blade here. Obviously it's plain ground. There's no serrations or anything on this guy. Super sticky edge, very, very sharp. You've got a fuller that carries out to about 85% of the length of the blade here, and a flat that carries out to about 60% the length of the blade, and a very small swedge that starts about halfway down the blade and carries out all the way to the tip. This obviously is running on bearings for sure. This is a very smooth knife. Look at that. Oh, that's so smooth. So smooth. That's awesome. So yeah, we're running on bearings here. This guy obviously is operated by the flipper. I don't think you can get that fuller there. Oh, maybe. You might be able to. Yeah, you can get that fuller. No problem. That's great. I like having more than one deployment option. Absolutely, 100%. Okay. I'm not sure why we have this hole here in the flipper tab, but that's okay. We got a little bit of jimping here on the front of the flipper tab, which works great. There's no jimping here on the spine of the blade. There is a tiny, tiny little bit right here, which I don't know if that serves any purpose. Yeah, it doesn't really look like that serves any purpose when the blade is closed. So obviously that's meant to be used with the blade open. You've got a decent sized forward finger choil here, which makes it very comfortable to choke up on the knife. You can bring your thumb up here and get a nice solid grip on this knife with no problem whatsoever. You can also hold it back a little bit further, so this jimping here I think is to keep your thumb in place while you have a normal grip, the hammer grip, with your hand all the way on the handle without choking up. Titanium scales, a little bit of milling here, tiny little holes right here. I don't think those are functional at all, but they look nice. And you've also got what looks like kind of, I don't know, this kind of looks like maybe cracks that are growing onto the bottom of the handle here. I'm not sure if that's meant to be something else, but it looks really, really cool. The other side, obviously titanium frame lock, pivot collar on the other side. You've got the WE symbol here on the pivot on the show side. And again, a relatively small pocket clip, but I'm not mad at it. It doesn't, look too bad. I'm sure it'll be nice and easy in and out of the pocket. I like the way they did this milling here for the relief for the lock bar. Usually you just see one big open void there where they mill it out to for the relief for the lock bar. But every once in a while, the companies will use these 3 little stripes or 4 little stripes, and I think that looks a little bit more interesting. You've got a titanium backspacer here with a space for a lanyard, and a very unique looking backspacer. There's a little bit of jimping here, and there's gaps here to then obviously they're uniform and all the way down. It just adds a little bit more character to the knife, it looks like to me. I can see here without even using a flashlight, it looks like this is milled out on the inside to save some weight. This is, I'm guessing, going to be a relatively heavy knife, probably around 5 ounces, because this is obviously all steel and titanium. There's no carbon fiber or anything on this one. Oh, we do have the blade steel here, I'm sorry. Boy, that's small. Yep, S35VN, I was right. Holy crap. Even a blind squirrel finds a nut every once in a while, guys. So yeah, the action on this guy is fantastic. You can see that just falls straight down. You turn the handle a little bit and it pops back down into the handle. You got a nice little click there. The D10 on this is tuned perfectly. You just, I don't know if you can push button this or not. Yep, no problem. And light switching it makes it rocket out of the handle. And you've got a nice little ting there when it locks up. Looks like we're locking up at about 40 to 45%. Let's take a look at the lock face to see if that's accurate or not. Yeah, maybe around 40%. And we are perfectly centered. Beautiful. Yeah, that is a very, very nice knife. Very comfortable in the hand, at least for my hand. Everybody has different size hands, but this one feels like it was made for my hand personally. It just fits absolutely perfectly. And I absolutely love the shape of this blade. This is gorgeous. And it's so badass. And I like all the little extra milling that they've done here. It's not too much, and it adds, a little bit of character to the knife. This is nice back here as well. I can see a little scratch here on the handle. But for the most part, this thing looks to be in pretty good shape. And this is definitely unique right here. Like I said, these kind of looks like maybe cracks to me forming in the handle, and that just looks really, really cool, the way they did that milling there. Not a whole hell of a lot of hardware. Looks like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, maybe 6 screws keeping this thing together, which isn't too bad. These look like they're probably T8s, so that is awesome. You guys know how much I just love T6s. Excuse me. Okay, I think that's it for this one for now. Again, these are not reviews, these are just first impressions, and I will do full reviews on them once I've had a chance to spend some time with them for a week or two. Alright, last but certainly not least, oh sorry, this one, I told you this one was made by WE. I don't know if I told you this was made by REATE or not, but the LIONG was absolutely made by REATE. Okay, now this is the one I'm excited about. Well, I'm excited about all of them, but this is one I've been looking at for quite a while. So this is the REATE K2, also an S35VN, all titanium. They've got a bunch of different variants of this guy. Some of them come titanium, others come with carbon fiber scales. I don't think that they make them with G10 scales. This is definitely a higher quality knife. So probably just, oh, that's a gorgeous blade. And I love the way it locks up. It kind of, you can feel it kind of recoil a little bit. That's how hard it shoots out of the handle there, just with pulling the flipper tab very, very lightly. See if you can push button it or not. Nope. Well, maybe I'm on the lock bar too much. Yeah, you can push button it. Just got to keep your finger off that lock bar, and push buttoning, it works perfectly fine. Light switching also obviously also works just fine. Quite a bit of milling here on the handle. Gives it quite a bit of character. So again, we are looking at S35VN blade steel, compound ground, hollow grind. You've got a flat that carries out to about 85% the length of the blade here, and then you've got a swedge that carries all the way out to the tip. Plain ground blade, no serrations, very, very sticky, lots and lots of grind lines. Little bit of jimping up here on the spine of the blade. You have a sharpening choil here, but you cannot choke up. That is not a forward finger choil for sure. This guy is obviously running on bearings, and very smooth. Maybe not quite as smooth as the other two, but still very, very smooth. Drops down in the handle with no problem. Maybe a little bit of encouragement, but not a lot. Titanium scales, titanium frame lock, titanium pocket clip, and titanium back spacer, which that's beautiful. It kind of looks like we've got like a dark gray or cobalt finish, and then it kind of looks like with some of the exposed areas here, it looks like maybe a little bit of bronze anodization. I don't know if that was on purpose or if that's just the finish wearing off here. Beautiful dimpling up here on, where the bolster would be, and then you've got some kind of just stepped milling here, which looks like it'll give you some meaningful traction or meaningful grip. Smooth area down here on the bottom of the handle, but you can see there's still some milling lines there. I don't know if you can see that or not. You've got a hole here for a lanyard. Minimal body screws. Looks like these are all going to be T6, no, maybe T8s. And then you've got a plain Jane milled titanium pocket clip back here, which actually goes with the rest of the knife, so that's pretty good. You've also got a little bit of jimping back here where your pinky's going to rest, which is definitely functional. It does, it's not there just for looks, and there is a little bit more jimping back here, which I kind of feel like would be just for looks. It's not really functional at all. Your hand doesn't really land on that when you're holding the knife at all. We are milled out to save weight, and again, this is going to be a little bit of a heavier knife just because it's made all out of titanium, and not too thick of a blade stock on this blade here. Let's see where we're locking up. Looks like at about 20%. Let's take a look at the lock face and see if that's accurate. Maybe 20%. You've got a lock bar here. I'm sorry, a stop pin. I apologize. And then maybe a little bit of shouldering. Yeah, there's a little bit of shouldering there for that stop pin. Let's see if that's active when it's closed as well. Yeah, the flipper tab rests up against that stop pin. Centering is absolutely perfect, as you would expect from REATE. We all know that REATE has some of the best manufacturing quality in the world. I got your logo there and S35VN on the other side. I really like the milling on this handle, absolutely. It all gives you some meaningful gripitude there, and it looks very nice as well. Almost kind of looks like maybe dragon scales or fish scales there. The lock bar, there's no lock stick whatsoever. Drops down into the handle with no problem. Lock up is fantastic. Oh, I forgot to check blade play on these other two. No blade play left, right, up, or down. I'm guessing that's going to be the case with the other two because these are very high quality knives. Pete doesn't really, as far as I know, have any kind of budget knives or anything like that. I think his entire collection is mostly just very, very expensive knives. Which good on him, I wish I could do that for sure. It doesn't look like there's really... Yeah, the front scale is on the same level as the lock side scale, but there is still enough room here. There's a little bit of scalloping here for you to get your thumb in there to disengage the lock. And just very, very, very smooth. Very smooth. These scales are kind of thinner than they look, so I think that would help with the weight. And I can see on the inside here that this is kind of like a bronzed backspacer here, so I don't know if this is actually titanium or not. I'll have to take a look at that when I do the review, which I will do here in a couple of weeks. Okay, yeah, I gotta say thanks to Pete for sending me 3 awesome knives to review. I really can't thank him enough. So I really hope that you guys are able to go to Instagram and give him a follow, just to say thank you for supporting the channel and everything. I think that's it for tonight, guys. I hope you enjoyed the unboxing. If you did, please do me a favor, just hit the thumbs up button just for the algorithm, and if you enjoy the content, please subscribe. But other than that, I think that's it. Stay up, y'all. Take it easy. Bye.